find the guy who made stairs and push him down these stairs. And then I'm gonna steal another joke from another abridged series. Because I'm hoping people get these references, and oh my god. Seriously, why are there so many stairs in this place?
Can I say V?
Sure.
She's hot. He's hot. I'm sorry. Like, I get that she's a succubus and that they're made that way, but oh my god. V, you have no business being that pretty.
I fell off again.
V, look, I wanted to talk to you more. You're very nice, but for fuck's sake.
Imagine me actually knowing what the hell I'm doing. Which never really happens. See if this works. I think I got you set up now.
I mean, I'm in the middle of the screen. And small.
No, talk about the audio part.
Oh.
I got you. Here we
I don't
go.
know. Do you not have Discord just auto set up? I have it auto set up.
No, it's more like the fact it was on a food channel, so I can do the talking.
That's weird.
Well, not really. My thing's a little different from yours. I mean, what do you use, OBS too, or something else?
I also use OBS. Your setup is weird, bro.
Yeah. Well, then again, I'm the weird one.
You are the weird one.
Oh, well,
I'm completely and absolutely normal.
No, you're not. You're an egotistical time witch.
What? No. Listen, I'm not egotistical if it's true. Which it is.
Oh, please.
I'm perfect.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
You're just somebody who likes to just stroke their own ego half the time. And the other half
Men
of the time,
want me, women want to be me.
I thought it was men want you and women want you.
Also true.
Well. You want to introduce yourself to everybody in chat? Because most of these are probably divers.
Are they?
Nah.
Hello.
Not really.
Hello.
I don't know who really is in there.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. But everybody, welcome in for the second half of Mischief Monday. Mischief Mondays has always been a two-parter. First half has always been something chaotic, and then we always wind down with me and Rena playing a visual novel.
Oh, man. Crazy.
Yeah. And it's totally not because I'm trying to help her do voice acting.
I mean, you know. I like voice acting. I find it fun.
Yeah.
Oh my. I guess we're almost done with this game.
We got 2 more cases, so these might be very long. If it's like Ace Attorney, the last case is probably going to be, like, very long.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
You are not sharing screen, by the way.
Hey. Imagine
You know,
being
I'm feeling kind of horny today.
already.
Yeah.
I'd say tone it down, but let's be real. That's kind of what a lot of people want to see us do. Be crazy. So anyway, from the last chapter, what do you remember?
The fucking noble did it, of course. He framed the other guy because he was pissed.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't use his technology to control, you know, because he didn't want to be controlled.
Obviously. And you wonder
Yeah.
why I distrust nobles.
Poor bastard got fucking literally dissolved in fucking magic acid, essentially.
Hey. There's a reason I tell people to be very weary about any liquid magic.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed.
But anyway, we shall be on to case 4, or chapter 4. It's called Severed Ties, so...
That's always a good sign.
yeah.
Were the ties severed with? Ruby?
Up until now, we've been following the story of Tyrion Cuthbert. We've experienced the world through his eyes and fought for justice through his soul. But this time, why don't we start from the perspective of another? But I got the feeling I think we know who we're gonna be.
It's either fucking Ruby or it's fucking what's her face?
Steelwind?
Steelwind, yeah.
I kind of want it to be Steelwind, to be honest.
It probably is, considering she's like the fucking foil, I guess, to Cuthbert.
Well, I don't know if I really call her a foil. I mean, kind of is.
I mean, she is. She's very different. She's literally. I mean, it's like saying that fucking Miles Edgeworth is a foil to fucking Phoenix, which is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They're foils.
It makes sense. Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
I can't believe Cuthbert read his client's mind without asking. Oh. It's starting to become a problem. He's becoming more and more reckless each passing year.
Could be Ruby.
I wish Frey was still alive. She would know what to do. She'd make it look so effortless, and he loved her. Would he have listened to her if she was still here?
Oh. I think I know what's going on.
Freyga.
Well,
interesting.
Since probably this is going to mostly be a lot of women, I'll have to take some of the roles. Let me try something.
Oh boy.
Is something the matter, Miss Tamora?
No, I was just thinking about something.
Well, the trial is about to begin. I don't doubt your abilities, but I still appreciate it if you may remain focused. All of our futures are at stake.
Appearance.
After all.
She's 21.
23.
23. She's hot. I hit that.
I don't think you'll have a chance to. If I remember what they said in the last chapter.
Yeah, probably not, but I would. Of course, Miss Freyga. Freelancer. But she's really hot.
Beatrice takes a deep breath before she claps her hands together.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just the ritual that I used to call myself.
Right, I'd almost forgotten about that. But more importantly, what are you doing here? Oh boy.
My father sent me on a guide to Beatrice through the courthouse. It's a new environment for her, and we both were worried about her condition.
I still can't believe you were the boss's daughter this entire time. Why didn't you say anything at the academy?
No, wait. This is afterwards. We didn't meet her till the academy, and that was a long while.
We didn't, but Ruby might have met her.
I don't know. She would have mentioned it, but on the first.
No, but Ruby wasn't with us at the academy, was she?
She was actually.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Oh, knowing my true identity would have caused friction with your son, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this was after the academy. This was definitely after the academy. Yeah.
Anyway, I suppose I understand why you stayed quiet. But I still don't appreciate being kept in the dark about this.
Oh, speak of the devil.
You spot Cuthbert and McCoy walking into the courtroom with the other members of the
classroom.
I don't know. I was thinking back to the academy. Oh well.
Damn.
Well,
Juris.
What?
Thinking back to the academy.
Do you even know which academy I'm thinking about?
Who knows with you?
McCoy spots you and gives you a friendly yet awkward smile. However, Cuthbert ignores you entirely and walks silently into the courtroom.
Hi, Gentleman Yeti. You know, if you want more visual novel fun, you can always follow my channel and make sure, you know, you watch on Fridays.
Next time I'm going to shill on your channel since you shilled on mine.
Listen, okay? It's right. You're right here. He likes, you know, visual novels, so, you know.
Yeah.
Parental troubles.
We had an argument earlier. It's nothing to worry about.
If you say so.
I know you said I gotta advertise myself, but really shilling on my channel?
I'm here. They like visual novels. I do visual novels. I'm a guest.
You do RPGs.
Yes, but I also do visual novels on Fridays.
One day I'm gonna make you play an RPG and it's gonna involve mecha.
No. Called Being Smart, see? Yeti got it.
You are wary about what he saw in Beatrice's mind, though. He always been a good kid, but his idealistic sense of justice cloud his judgment sometimes. You just hope that he's not planning to do anything reckless.
Ruby and Arya, I made her sound too close, I think, but it's hard to kind of separate them now. The trial's about to begin. Do you have the time making small talk here?
Alright, so taking bets, and I should make this bet for chat. Since it seems to be a running gag, what is McCoy gonna do to cosplay as Steelwind this time? Steal her clothes or what?
Hard to say. Renna, you can collab with Fox, but they want to play a mecha game. No, can we just do ASMR? Listen, okay, if I can just do ASMR with Vox Akuma.
If I can play Street Fighter with Calliope Mori or Karoni. Oh, especially Karoni, when she was being taught by one of the top Street Fighter players. And she made...
Take the hat.
And she had a really good JP. Like a really good JP I want to fight against.
Yeah, I'd be okay with taking her hat. It's kind of cute.
Prosecutor Steelwind approaches the three of you. But she appears to be accompanied by somebody else.
Oh boy. It's this fucking kid.
Yeah.
Nightgrave, is that you? What are you doing here?
Well...
He's accompanying me as an aid for my case. Okay, now I won't miss visual novels. Yay! My solution worked. Oh, I see. So I assume you'll be prosecuting. Of course, I would never pass up the opportunity to face the infamous Ruby Temura.
Oh, I know that feeling. Especially if it's like somebody you know you can't win against, but you just have to have that chance to fight against them.
Yeah. Speaking of RPGs, I'm gonna be going back to an older RPG. Not like a super old, but an older one.
I don't know, there's a lot of RPGs that are quote-unquote old, but they seem to be super old.
Couldn't be me.
What kind of old we talking?
Hold up. Let me look at the release date.
Because what I thought was old is now considered super old.
2009.
So what, a PS3 era game?
PS3 era, yeah. Xbox 360. I got it on the Xbox 360 initially.
Was it Lost Odyssey? Everybody's saying that's really good, but just got lost.
No. No, I didn't own Lost Odyssey.
Mm. I heard that one's actually really good. I blame
So old is considered a dino.
so old is considered Dino. That'd probably be like the first Final Fantasy.
That is pretty old. As I go look that up.
It's an NES game.
Still, I'm curious about the years. I don't care about fucking Rebirth. 1987 in Japan.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 1987. Before. Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Really, if I recall correctly, you haven't even beaten Tyrone once so far.
Miss Steelwind, don't strain yourself.
Damn. Lost Odyssey. Let's see. Lost Odyssey is from 2007. So yeah, I was pretty close to Dragon Age Origins. A little bit older.
Does that count as an RPG? No, wait, that is an RPG, just not really turn-based.
Dragon Age is not turn-based. Which is the game I'm referring to. I'm going to be playing Dragon Age Origins.
Ah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
At least it ain't Veilguard.
I own Veilguard. I'm going to be playing through Dragon Age, and then I will hit up Veilguard. I don't know what order I'm going to do. I might just play through all of Dragon Age and then hit Veilguard, but I don't know. I have to decide.
You want my personal word of advice?
Hmm?
I would try Veilguard before I stream it just to make sure, because I've heard a lot of Dragon Age fans actually got so pissed they quit the game before finishing it.
I mean, I kind of had the problem with Dragon Age Inquisition a little bit because they didn't like certain things that were done. So, I'm gonna give it another shot. I did play through all of Origins and Dragon Age 2.
I'm gonna do it this way. I played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 3, but I fucking hated what they did with the combat. To the point that I quit.
In Kingdom Hearts 3?
Yeah.
Did they change it? Because I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3. Did they change it from the original Kingdom Hearts?
How do I describe it? All flash, no substance.
That tells me nothing, unfortunately.
Basically, they managed to dumb down the combat to the point it's basically use the amusement park to win the fight all the time.
Maybe I'll understand it if I play it.
Yeah.
It's on my list. I have a list. Nier was recommended to me.
We talking regular Nier or Nier Automata?
It's just listed as Nier series, so.
Alright, you're lying, Rena?
What's that look for, Beatrice?
Oh, we already got a dad joke redeemed. It's been a long time since we had one of those.
No, it is, yeah. I mean, you used to get annoyed because they used to get redeemed a lot.
That was when I had it at very low. And it was just like every stream. And it just got to the point I was running out of dad jokes.
Well, then you increased it to like 100.
Well, I had to.
And nobody could afford it after that.
Hey, making a dad joke comes down to the fact that It has to be annoying, but it shouldn't be annoying to the person who's making the jokes. It's supposed to torture the audience, and they pay for it. So, again...
I mean, if that's what they're into, apparently somebody's got a degradation kink.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts fans. Alright.
I don't, and I like Kingdom Hearts.
Really? Because...
So I will disagree with you.
Really? Because the quality went right down after 2.
I mean, I pretty much stopped playing after 2, and I don't even remember why.
You'll find out after 2. Oh,
I think
trust.
I probably just got distracted by something else, which is likely because my brain is stupid. Mia's
No.
So, can you explain, Celtro? Because are you just cosplaying me? Are you, like, shape-shifted into me?
Does Celtro even remember that I can see through people's magics and yours is very different from his? Oh, yeah, and I gotta do the dad joke for the Gentleman Yeti. I will say my jokes are pretty abominable when it comes to how bad they are. But when it comes down to the dad joke, I have to make it very classy for you. That was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, I gotta work on it. They're supposed to be bad, but they're supposed to be a little bad. Not like cringe-worthy bad.
Yeti said it was okay.
Alright.
I personally thought you could have done better.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since somebody redeemed the dad joke, so...
I've definitely heard better ones from you, for sure.
Yeah, but that's because I usually kind of lean into something on here.
Oh boy, Yeti has a folder.
Mm.
Page 1. Page 6.
So you want to read, Rina?
Flip through this.
We still got a game to play.
Yes, Celtro says that shapeshifted as me.
Again, I can see your magic in
I already
his.
read that line.
Okay.
You almost look surprised to see me here.
Considering the circumstances, I thought you might rescue yourself.
I'm more than capable of being objective. It's not magic as anti-magic field because it doesn't cause me to revert. So it's not magic.
There's one other thing he kind of forgets. Half the time he smells like raw sewage, so I know it wouldn't be you.
Oh, you stinky puppy! Stinky puppy! Stop rolling in sewage, Celtro. You have to, you know, actually get my perfume, and then maybe you'll pass.
A shapeshifted doggo that
That is
Rina...
not innocent.
A shapeshifting doggo that Rina kidnapped from a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
We didn't talk about that. I shouldn't have done that.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
I'm no better. I technically just picked up this capybara and called it my pet. It just never ran away.
I mean, capybaras are pretty chill, so
Yeah.
kind of hard to... But yeah, Celtro's a shape-shifting doggy.
Yeah.
Especially for a case of this much importance.
Well, I hope your mind is as strong as you think it is. Miss Steelwind, please calm down.
Oh, how I love a good reunion.
Yeah, Ruby's 46.
Wait till you see how she looks, too.
She's mommy.
Court is now in session for the trial of Beatrice Frege. Miss Steelwind, is the prosecution ready?
Gonna say it, I like older women. Damn. Hmm.
Miss Steelwood?
Of course. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
There you go, gentleman Yeti. That is Ruby Tamora.
Fucking hot. I mean, if an older woman looked like her, I'd definitely hit that.
Something seems off of her today. Is her personal attachment to this case distracting her? Very well. Let's begin with the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwood, could you please list the charges?
Your Honor, the defendant is charged with first-degree murder and grand theft. As many of you know, Beatrice Frege is formerly missing daughter of the now late William Frege. And the last victim of the murder was William Frege himself.
Yes, I'm aware of that. The people of the Wervengard will certainly mourn the loss of House Frege's head. I won't. Please, the only people mourning him are the banking house's shareholders. But anyway, did you also say the defendant is accused of grand theft?
Yes, Your Honor. The crime took place during Lord's Ball, an event that was hosted in the Frege Manor yesterday evening. The Hudson Hall of History had a gallery display within the manor. Who's your Timora or Steelwind?
I mean, they both look pretty good.
Yeah. They were showcasing several magical artifacts that donated the Wervengard Historical Society. Hey. One of these items was the Sword of Spell Eating, a magical artifact that allows its wielder to nullify magical effects.
I never understand why they always call swords the blank of blank. Why would you want to advertise what it does in its name? In combat.
I mean, I suppose if you're trying to sell a product, that's how you would name it.
But after you sell it, wouldn't you want to change the name?
I mean, you probably do, but it's still, like, purpose is still going to be the spell of sword eating.
Yeah. Like, imagine everybody's face when I said I'm pulling out my weapon, the Claw of Yazura. And what do you think? Imagine them seeing it's basically a lightsaber scythe.
Soldier says no one yells the name in combat. Tell that to anime. I've heard plenty of animes that do that.
I've also seen some wizards try to do that, and we just shoot them in the face for it. Number one rule for any magic caster out there. Don't be yelling out what your attack does when somebody has a gun.
Eldritch Blast.
Gun. Yes, I'm a sorcerer, but again, if it's practical and it's quick, why wouldn't I use it? Why do you think Fireball's my go-to?
Fireball.
Still think you should let me...
A lot of animes actually do that to basically allow them to repeat the same animation and audio in order to save on time and money.
That's true. Then again, I've always been a show don't tell kind of guy, so you can see how annoying it gets half the time with me.
I imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a red sword. How do you feel about that, Juris?
Me personally?
Yeah. Just all red.
Way too red. Like maybe
the blood contract between a mage and a demon.
So this is the edgelord sword. People say my weapon's an edgelord sword. It's just a scythe that's a lightsaber. Seriously, all it needs is literally some black on that handle, just to help contrast it.
Yeti says that it's a lame sword.
Yeah. It's just like, it's like just taking a PNG of a sword and just using the paint bucket and just hitting red and you call it a day.
You know, it's very possible that they probably did that. They just had a PNG of a sword and a paint bucket. Oh no, not even paint bucket. They probably overlaid it.
Hmm.
Very likely it's probably just a PNG of a sword with like the overlay of the red color. I know Celtro's done that when he's recoloring some of the stuff he's doing.
Yeah.
We, the prosecution, believe that the defendant stole this item. She then used it to nullify the magic to lock on the victim's study. After breaking into the study, she attacked the victim and slashed his throat open using a letter opener.
Why not just use the damn sword? It's still a sword.
Yeah, what the fuck? Why would you use the letter opener if you already have a fucking sword? Seems unnecessary. It's like, yes, I need to get close with a letter opener instead of the fucking sword.
The sword that has longer range is probably sharper. You probably more likely know how to use because you used it to break a lock. You know.
I mean, it depends on the letter openers. Some letter openers are sharp as knives. Not all letter openers. Some are dull, and they're intended to be dull.
But
it depends.
But again, wouldn't you rather try to kill somebody with, you know, a weapon created to kill instead of a letter opener?
That just seems stupid.
Yeah.
Unless it's a weapon of opportunity, then...
If it's a weapon of opportunity, wouldn't it still be the sword because you just used it? Because you.
I'm saying, ignoring the fact that we had the sword to use the magic eating.
You really can't.
No. Let's assume that Let's assume that the door was not magical. All right. So you didn't need the sword. Ignoring the fact that somebody would probably be smart enough to bring a dagger if they're trying to freaking murder somebody.
Yeah.
Weapon of opportunity. You're in somebody's office, you get really pissed off at them, and you stab them with a fucking letter opener. Yeti also states the blood matches with the color, so you'll know you stabbed somebody. Who will know you stabbed someone?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Just not very smart.
This guy already looks like a prick. Maybe I'm glad he's dead. Cause of death was blood loss after his throat was slashed open. Both carotid arteries were severed, meaning the death must have followed mere seconds after the wound was inflicted. Body shows several scratch marks on the face and back. Traces of illusion magic were also found on the body.
Why illusion magic?
I don't know. We'll figure out later. I see. But what possible motive would the defendant have to murder her own father?
William Frege and their daughter were not close. Saying that they had a strained relationship would be an understatement. Maybe she thought it was... No, because that wouldn't make sense about an intruder. Especially in a locked room, because I was like, if it was an intruder that, or she thought it was an intruder because they used the magic to make themselves look like somebody else. I don't know. It's complicated.
I don't know if I would say it's complicated. Just, there were a lot of, like, pieces that just make you go, what?
Yep.
What's Alexio again?
I don't remember. I just decided I wanted it. Trying to see if I caught it, but the fucking app is being stupid.
Oh shit!
I did catch it. Oh, right. It's a pre-evolved form. Or it's the evolved form of Shanks.
Oh, I forgot to hit start for the YouTube one.
Silly Billy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have it recorded, so you can download it
Yeah.
and upload it.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do that.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna like cut this in half and then put it on the YouTube one.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know that I have a shiny Caterpie?
Hmm.
He's a very shiny boy. Yeah.
Rena, your line?
Yeah. In fact, 5 years prior to the murder, Beatrice abandoned and fled her home. She went into hiding and didn't even contact any of her friends or family. Her whereabouts were unknown until she suddenly contacted her father a week ago. Man, poor desks. Everyone's slapping the desks. My client left Frigga household because of her toxic relationship with her father. She wanted to create a life for herself that was free from his influence and abuse. I won't disagree with your claims. But that just highlights how desperate the defendant must have been. So she had clearly fallen on hard times and begrudgingly contacted her father for financial aid. I can't possibly understand why they would schedule a meeting during the Lord's Ball. But nevertheless, several witnesses did see her that night. And the same witnesses she saw storming out of her father's study in anger. Her father must have refused her request for gold, so she decided to murder him to claim the inheritance.
Rich people problems. Luckily,
Yeah.
we prepared for this in advance.
Yes, they're playing right into our hands.
Beatrice Frigga fled her family 5 years ago and went into hiding in retaliation. As a result, she wouldn't receive any inheritance after his death. As per your agreement, the testimony will be confirmed by Miriam Frigga in court. Yeah, gentleman Yeti, there's a reason I don't trust royalty. I say that while my apprentice is a princess. Actually,
And you simp over a princess.
okay, to be fair about my apprentice, she was locked up.
Oh, typical damsel.
Yeah. Yeah, they wanted the perfect, like, princess to, you know, political marriage and stuff. And then her magic powers came up and that fucked up their plans.
Damn. She must live in a very weird country that they have problems with magic.
It's not really that, it's the fact she had no control and was seen as a liability.
Everything can be trained.
Why do you think I'm doing that?
Yeah.
So yeah, you can call that me being sympathetic because I didn't want to do that. Or you could say it's because I also want to fuck up these royal nobles too.
I'm hungry.
You like this lore? That's like some side lore compared to the main lore, to be honest. Like, that's like a story for another VTuber using my apprentice.
What are you saying is all conjecture, steel wind?
I don't know if Rena would play her.
Hmm?
No.
Oh.
He said, going to be Rena? I'm like, I don't think you'd play her.
I don't know. That depends. I don't know if you'd want me to play her too.
I'd probably be fine with it, but I feel like you'd probably get tired of the act real quick.
I play a lot of characters. You think that's... No, you're fine, Yeti.
Nah, we like these conversations. Like, if I were to describe how she acts around me, think damsel from Slay the Princess, but a little bit more receptive and not whatever makes you happy. And she's hung around with we way too much, so she eventually starts saying things like throw hands and stuff, even without context of what it means.
I don't know how she would understand the context after being around you for so long. But I also, I have a character in particular that, she's an alien space rock. Yeah, she's from Steven Universe. She's a Steven Universe OC. And she has a crush on a human boy, and she does weird things, like throw bricks at his window because she saw people throw pebbles in a movie at a girl's window to get their attention. So instead, she throws bricks because she's not that smart. Almost kills the fucker doing that.
That sounds hilarious.
I love her. She's fucking. She's really into like romance movies, like old romance movies. And like a big part of her character, she does really fucking weird things that she's seen in romance movies, but kicks that shit up to like 11.
Ah. All right, go ahead.
I love her. She's fucking great. Her name's Pietra Sight. Because she's my beautiful, lovely Steven Universe OC. One of mine, anyway. I have a few. She's funny. What are some other things she's done?
Rena, your line?
Anyway. I said that line.
Oh, okay.
You don't have any evidence or testimony that confirms what they spoke about. Yes, I am well aware that you and your client have refused to tell us what was discussed during that meeting. But as long as you both stay silent, my claims are plausible. Be honest, Steelwind, do you seriously think that my client committed these crimes in spite of her condition?
I don't know why that smug look is so hot to me, but it's hot.
Smug women are hot.
Condition? What do you mean by that, Miss Tamora?
Why don't you tell him, Steelwind? Tell the court about my client's disability. Your Honor, Beatrice Frege is considered legally disabled. However, legally disabled? That's a convenient way of putting it, Steelwind. My client isn't just legally disabled. She's completely blind.
Completely blind? Is that true?
I saw that coming. We have several medical documents and testimonies from several chirurgeons attesting to the fact.
It's the gray eyes, that's why.
Yeah, that's what they usually do.
In like any anime or media, when they're blind, they just gray out the eyes. Yeah.
Frosty.
Yeah.
Gray eyes, specifically, because Timora has gray eyes, but they're not frosty colored.
Yeah.
I mean, they do that in movies as well, like Daredevil, for example. His eye, he was blind. He had frosty eyes.
Yeah.
Technically, fun fact, just because you're blind doesn't mean your eyes look like that. You can have perfectly normal looking eyes but can't see.
Yeah.
It's just the way for people to understand that they're blind better.
Alright.
But also leads to misconceptions and misunderstandings, and people don't really understand the blind very well because of that. Because a lot of people assume what media presents, that, oh, if you're only blind if you have frosty gray eyes. No. It's actually more about a lack of being able to focus, and that's going to be a good way to indicate whether or not somebody's blind.
You lied?
My client is unable to say anything.
Beatrice Frege is completely blind. She is unable to see anything through her eyes. This has been verified through several medical reports and qualified... I don't know what that word means.
Trojans.
What is the meaning of this, Miss Steelwind? Do you expect me to believe that a blind woman performed any acts you're accusing her of?
I'm glad you also see how ridiculous these claims are, Your Honor. If the court would just let me elaborate. Steelwind, the prosecution's first charge is grand theft. My client would have needed to break into a magically secured display case. Performing such an act would be a difficult task for anyone, much less my client who is blind. And the second charge is first-degree murder. My client would have needed to use the sword of spell eating the lock leading into the victim's study. Then she would have needed to grab a letter opener, overpower the victim, and deliver a precise, fatal blow to the victim's neck.
Not really. They probably had, like, magic security for the outside, not inside the case that the sword would be in. Because if you just try to put a magic eating lock door where the magic eating item is, it's just not gonna... Why bother?
No, sounds like a lot of work. Does any of that sound a reasonable theory, Your Honor? From a blind woman?
I'm compelled to agree with you, Miss Tamora. It all sounds quite ludicrous, to be perfectly honest. This is just awful. The Steelwinds are clearly just attacking the Frigas now that their head is deceased.
Enough! Your Honor, the court has not seen the evidence that supports this case. Nor have you listened to the Inquisition's testimony regarding the investigation.
The Inquisition has had a pretty lousy track record for the past 3 cases, remember?
Yeah. Until you have done so, there is no point to pass judgment.
Very well, Miss Steelwind. I suppose you have a point.
Guess the young lady has some claws after all. It doesn't matter. The case against Beatrice is questionable at best. I'm hungry. Frankly, it's surprising that Steelwind even went through with this. It's only a matter of time before the judge sees through this. To begin, the prosecution would like the Commander Orem White to the stand. Commander White, please testify to the court about the Inquisition's findings.
Right. We didn't want to cause panic after the sword was stolen, so we activated the manor's silent security system. It put an anti-magic field over the entire manor. We did a search for the house, and we found the stolen sword in the defendant's bedroom. It didn't look like she was going to run, and Crown Prince Astor told us to stand down, so we just kept a close eye on her. William Frege was in a bad mood that night, so he had already locked himself in his study. But an hour later, we entered the study and found him lying dead in a pool of blood. The lock was still engaged and no one teleported in. The prep must have temporarily disabled the lock using the sword of spell eating. We had testimonies that said the defendant was seriously in debt. She must have murdered the victim to get part of the inheritance.
Wait a minute. They're temporarily disabled? Wouldn't the sort of magic eating, magic swallowing not temporarily disabled?
Oh no.
Wouldn't that be more of a permanent thing? I'm curious.
Their case is just as you predicted. And you already have a countermeasure to disprove the existence of any motive. All you have to do is present that to the court. Well, we already know what it is. The testimony about getting part of the inheritance. She was written out, remember?
Mm-hmm. Your Honor, the prosecution's case against my client is riddled with holes. And the prosecution proposed motive as the largest among them.
What do you mean, Miss Tamora? And of all elements in the case, the motive is the most believable? Your client would have much to gain through her father's inheritance.
And that may be. But that's assuming the client had anything to inherit at all. What? Your Honor, my client fled from her psychologically abusive father 5 years ago. How do you think he would have reacted to that?
Robot
Rena. Wow.
Robot Rena.
Am I robotic?
Beep boop bap.
Boop boop boop.
Beep boop boop beep boop bap.
I mean, I just listened to the stream. It sounded fine to me.
Huh. Oh, hiccup with the microphone.
I don't know. Weird. Never had that problem. Lord Frege was a petty and vindictive man. Do you honestly think that he'd leave his inheritance to someone who disobeyed him so egregiously? No, he'd do everything in his power to make sure... Oh my god. She didn't see a shred of his wealth. Yes, we've already well aware of this.
The moment she slams her cane down, you notice the prosecutor wince a little, but she quickly hides it and regains her composure.
I want chocolate. I'm really hungry.
What?
I'm just hungry.
Mmm.
On the night of the murder, the victim made the decision to disinherit the defendant. However, his murder deprived him of the opportunity to submit his will to the attorney. The only further proves the defendant's motive. She would have needed to act quickly lest her father submit to the changed will. That was 5 years ago that she ran away, though. I'm afraid you're mistaken, Stewart. William Frege didn't disinherit my client that night. He had disinherited my client 5 years ago.
Yeah, like you said.
Mm-hmm. I have witness testimony from Miriam Frege, William's youngest daughter. By her own admission, her father disinherited her client shortly after she fled the household. What? She never brought that up during questioning. Perhaps she's not amicable to you as you thought. If you don't believe me, why don't you call her to the stand and ask her ourselves? Valid. What are you planning, Miss Tamora? I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, it's clear that we won't get anyone here until we hear from Miriam directly. Bailiff, please escort Miriam Frege to the stand. Miriam, is the defense correct? Did your father disinherited Beatrice 5 years ago?
Yes.
And you didn't think it was necessary to share this information with me?
Well, you never asked.
If I recall correctly, you were also tight-lipped during questioning this morning. You were staying quiet for your sister's sake? The witness just lost her father. You can hardly expect to recall every detail that's relevant to the case. Which raises a more concerning question. How do you extract this information? Who knows? Maybe I just have a way with people. Regardless, I suppose you have a point, so I'll give the witness the benefit of the doubt for now. In any case, Miriam, please testify to the court how you found out about Beatrice's disinheritance.
Yes, of course. One day, we all woke up and discovered that Beatrice had fled from our home. She left a note for us, and in it, she renounced her name and denounced my father. My father later called me and my sister into his study. He told us that he completely disowned Beatrice and removed any claim she had to the Frege estate. It was probably a threat to us in case we ever chose to go down the same path she did. He wanted to make an example out of her. This all happened 5 years ago.
And are you sure this all happened 5 years ago?
Yes, even now I can remember everything clearly.
I see.
Her speech is getting slower. Is she deep in thought? Nightgrave seems extremely concerned for some reason.
And Liv was with you at this meeting?
Yes, she was.
However, Liv couldn't possibly have been there.
Her words are getting more slurred. You also noticing that her balance is slightly swaying.
Hey, are you okay? Of course
She's not okay.
No.
Okay, somebody get the doctor!
What?
By the skill, Lord, is that blood?
Blood?
But bailiff, find anybody capable of casting healing magic. Escort them to the courtroom immediately. After some scrambling, a couple of healers were able to help Nightgrave stabilize the prosecutor. In all the chaos, you caught a glimpse of her. There were deep wounds and blood on several parts of her body. She must have used some kind of illusion to hide them, but her disguise had completely dissipated now. Before Steelwind is taken out of the courtroom, you catch her whispering something into Nightgrave's ear. You see a look of confusion from him, but he nods and makes his way to the witness stand. But not before passing a message on to the bailiff, who seems equally confused. Just what the hell is going on? Mr. Nightgrave, explain yourself. What is going on? Why is Miss Steelwind so gravely injured? I'm sorry, but I wasn't actually here as Miss Steelwind's aide. I was here as her healer.
Her healer?
The truth is, Miss Steelwind was violently attacked at noon today. She was critically conditioned, but she insisted on prosecuting the case anyway. I owed her a favor and she asked me to channel my necromancy to keep her wounds closed during the trial. Scale Lord, why didn't she just recuse?
Yep, recuse.
Recuse herself.
She must have known. If anyone else tried to prosecute Beatrice, he would have handily won the trial. Nevertheless, she wouldn't be up to prosecute because no one else would, and she did it all despite the risk of her life.
So more than likely, she knew that this girl is innocent because remember, she has helped us out on all the other cases, and not in the Edgeworth like flaky way. She's helped us out in slyer ways, but you know, not dick way. You know what?
Yes, because necromancy is healing in this game. Which used to be what D&D used to have healing as. Necromancy was healing, but they changed it.
In this game,
I believe they changed it to evocation?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really play D&D. I wanted to do like a D&D stream, but I don't know.
One day.
Yeah, but in this game, necromancy is kind of very, very, like, frowned upon magic, and, like, very few people can learn it, like this guy. Mostly for healing reasons. It almost makes you respect her a little. Almost.
Anyway, is there any need to prolong the trial, Joanna?
What?
Even you must acknowledge how weak this case against my client is. In addition to that, Miriam's testimony shows the client had nothing to gain from her father's death.
Miss Tamura, Miss Steelwind has been gravely injured. And you're still only concerned about?
The only thing I'm concerned about is seeking justice for my client.
Even so, we cannot move forward until we find another prosecutor.
And how long do you think that will take, Your Honor? It's been almost 12 hours since the murder took place. That gives us, what, 36 hours? After that, every magical trace of the crime scene will fully disappear.
But there might be someone.
If Steelwind had simply allowed another prosecutor work the case, we wouldn't be in this situation. She took a risk, and now she had to pay the price. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
You're not exactly proud of winning this way. But this is what it takes to win, and you won't let an opportunity like this pass you by. The judge is clearly unhappy with this turn of events, but it's out of his hands now. Well, due to today's unprecedented events, I suppose I have no choice. There aren't any prosecutors available to immediately take Miss Steelwind's place. We take a brief recess. After that, I'll deliver my verdict.
Not guilty. Hello?
Your Honor, I'm afraid I cannot pass that verdict just yet.
What the fuck is he doing here?
Mr. Cuthbert?
Cuthbert? What the hell are you doing?
I don't know. But what I do know is that there was a massive contradiction in Miriam Frega's testimony. But it looks like things aren't going as simple as expected.
Oh my god. The fuck?
Yeah, the hell? The night before. Ugh, I feel so out of place here. Despite your clear hatred for the nobility, you find yourself at a party filled with aristocrats. You hardly recognize anyone, but many of the people here clearly recognize you. You're used to receiving dirty looks from the upper class, but you can literally feel everybody's disdain for you.
Except for your fanboy. Man, if only your fanboy was here.
My
Why are you in the corner by yourself?
My fanboy's probably drooling right now. I can't believe I let you talk me into coming here.
Oh, she looks pretty.
Pretty nice. For reasons unknown, you lose your train of thought.
I've been wanting to wear this dress for a while now. What do you think? What's wrong?
You suddenly feel extremely flustered. It's difficult to make eye contact with her.
Oh, I see. Are you enchanted by my beauty? She need to take the bow out. The bow stays. Come on, say something.
Ever since that night in our necks, you felt like something has been off between you two.
Am I interrupting something?
Miss Tamura?
I wanted to check in on the two of you before we were to meet with Lord Frege.
You spot a woman silently following behind her. Is she the client Miss Tamura is representing? You're pretty sure this is your first time meeting her, but she looks familiar for some reason. Hi, I'm Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm Miss Tamura's ward. You send out a hand to shake hers. She has an aristocratic air to her, so you hope you're not being too informal. Instead of taking your hand, she claps her hands together and takes a deep breath. Every time I hear that, the only thing I can imagine is somebody saying boy after that, like this. Boy!
I don't see it.
You never seen that meme?
No.
I
wasn't in on the memes initially.
What? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's a bit of a habit of mine. Oh. Nevertheless, she finally shakes your hand. I've heard much about you, Mr. Cuthbert. My name is Beatrice. You're not sure about the details, but your mentor appears to have broken a deal between Beatrice and William Frege. William Frege is the ruling lord of House Frege, so you're a little curious about what kind of deal he'd be involved in. But you learn not to pry into your mentor's business.
Anyway, we'll probably be gone for a while. Can I trust you two not to cause trouble? You and a manor is filled with the highest members of the nobility. You might need some familiar yet unfriendly faces.
We'll keep a low profile, Miss Tamora.
Please do.
So why were you insisting on accompanying Miss Tamora to the Lord's ball? You know you could tell me anything, right?
I guess everything that happened in Aeronax made me think about things. I don't know anything about my past or where I came from. I didn't want to think about it because of Dad and Mom, but...
You wanted to find out who your biological parents are.
I do, but I don't know now. Being here is starting to make me feel weird. I still have my mom, and looking for my birth parents feels wrong somehow.
I don't think that's true.
Really?
Miss Tamora adopted me when I was a child, and she gave me a purpose in life. But I still keep my childhood memories of my mother close to me. Miss Tamora and my mother are very important to me. I don't think it's disrespectful to find out more about yourself, and I'm sure your mother will understand.
Yeah. You think so?
Of course. And I'm also sure of another thing. If I'm with you, I doubt any of the nobles here will want to speak with you.
Yeah, I didn't want to be rude, but...
Don't worry, I can find something to fill the time.
You're just gonna play chess alone, aren't you?
Maybe.
You really need to learn to talk to other people. Make some new friends or something.
With the nobles? Fuck that! What am I going to listen to a noble come talk about? Oh, I made so much money off of these people who don't have any money. Blah, blah, blah. You get mad at me for assaulting a noble.
Yep.
So you're willing to let me just deal with... You're not willing to let me assault the nobles, are you?
No.
Why not?
Because you'll get arrested for that.
And who's gonna actually try and cuff me?
Plenty of people.
Sure. Like say people were gonna check Majin Buu from not throwing hands up in heaven. Hey. I don't need more friends. I usually want to spend most of my time with you anyways. See, Celtro agrees with me. Down with the nobles.
He's just saying that because he's jealous of a certain noble.
Why? Like, I'm not even joking. Why? He's a literal shape-shifting doggo. He can get away with a lot of shit, and he can do some shit.
No.
Oh, no. He wants to slay the princess. Never mind. I take it back with this guy.
No, he's jealous of Owen. That's what it is.
Again, why? Shape-shifting doggo. The key word being shape-shift. Celtro, you're not slaying the princess because the princess is my apprentice, okay?
Man has a plan, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna go try to talk to some people.
Yeah, I'll see you later. Celeste leaves to mingle with some of the partygoers. You find yourself with very little to do, and you doubt anyone would want to engage in small talk from the likes of you. Your hand instinctively goes for your statue. It contains a foldable chessboard. Well, it's not as if I got anything better to do. I should try to find an empty table to play on. Each table has a centerpiece of flowers on it. Most of the seats at the table are filled. Doesn't look like you'll be able to play here. Yeah, it looks like they're all full.
Yeah, they look totally full to me.
This place is pretty quiet, but there aren't any tables around. Well, I could play on the floor. Dog!
That's a dog.
No, never mind. He's a bad dog. What the?
No, it's a Seltro.
While walking through the hallway, you suddenly find yourself face to face with a large wolf. Immediately upon seeing you, the wolf quickly gallops away. Did someone leave a door open? You think about telling
That's fucking
someone,
weird.
but you remember that the manor is full of nobles. You're sure a servant will spot it eventually, and it's not as if anyone will believe you anyway.
Yeah, it's just a random wolf.
But it'd probably be best to find somewhere else to play. You look further around the manor and you find a room with several displays. It looks like a gallery of sort, but it's slightly out of place here. There are a few nobles in the room, and they're silently approaching appreciating the exhibits. Perhaps Lord Frigga paid a museum to create some historical displays for the Lord's Ball. I'll go with neutral one for now. Now there's a face I haven't seen before.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Is that a guy or a girl?
No, that's the dude, I think.
The keyword is I think. This could be an old lady for all we know. Oh no, it says it here, old man. I'm gonna have to go with the old man voice. Oh, so the photo they had was just crappy. I didn't notice that.
Did have some black handles.
Is that a monkey on his back? Hello.
The monkey's got glasses.
Hello, my name is Harold Harrelson. I'm the curator of this collection. Harold Harrelson? Is that a pseudonym or something? No. It's a historian.
You gotta make him sound like the cranky old man that wants the kids to get off his lawn.
You go kids, get off my property! You go kids, get off my property! I see. Wait, he's a museum curator? He must be extremely knowledgeable about the Reverend God's history. You wonder, would you happen to know anything about the ancient dragons? I like the skilled Lord Rathalion. There are many pieces in this gallery. And some of them were items that were wielded by the 7 heroes of the Reverend God. Legends say that they spent all this time hunting monsters into the woods and then stealing their scales and then crafting it into armor. Oh wait, that's my favorite game, Monster Hunter. Legends say that some of these items were directly enchanted by Rathalion himself. Enchanted by Rathalion? Would that mean that they also don't follow the rules of magic? Perhaps you should examine these items closely. Oh, he's right. That is a crappy picture. That thing actually has some better design than what it was on that, thing.
I don't know, it's still pretty bad.
Yeah, but it was better than all red. It's a pair of metallic armbands. There are several magic runes carved onto them. Those are the armbands of intellect. They were actually created by a member of House Frigga many centuries ago. Centuries? That would make these armbands one of the first creations of artificery. That's correct, youngin'. Legends say that whoever wore these armbands would be granted unparalleled levels of intellect. So basically it will turn Owen's 1-digit IQ to 2-digit.
Owen is very intelligent, thank you.
Many believe that House Frigga created these to aid them in their study of magic.
That would make fucking Seltro a genius, is what it would do.
Who's this old fuck?
Hmm.
It is a painting of some sort of scientist. That name is Dr. Ivo Robotnik. Luke Kufar. Kind of looks like an old-ass Robotnik, doesn't he?
Kind of.
He was an
He
alchemist.
lost some weight.
Yeah.
He was an alchemist and inventor from one of the Branch families. He is well known for his studies and imbuing intelligence into automatons.
Intelligent automatons. Would that make him similar to arcane construct?
Yes, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Lord Von Sanctus used his research to create those confound contractions.
So unless Von Sanctus is taking credit for somebody else's work, sounds about right.
Yep.
It's a painting of a researcher.
That is Professor Matt Ferdlin. He was a professor of some renown. He was a researcher of combinatory magic theory.
What's that?
It's the study of how different types of magic interact with each other. He famously ran an experiment on what would happen if two anti-magic fields overlap each other.
That's actually pretty interesting. What were the results of the experiment?
Well, they had mages enter the space where the two fields overlapped. It turns out those mages were able to use their magic in that space.
So basically just canceled each other out. Wait, how would that be possible? They would have two anti-magic fields affecting them.
When the two fields overlap, they canceled each other out. I heard that it's akin to multiplying two negative numbers together.
Makes sense to me.
Actually, that is like the most straightforward reason. Negative times a negative equals a positive. It's a pair of golden earrings. They have a small jewels embedded into each of them.
Those are the earrings of vitality. It said that Scale Lord imbued a portion of his immortality into those. Legends say that whoever wore them would have their lifespan increased tenfold.
Scale Lord could do those things like that?
Of course, he is the Scale Lord after all.
Are there any spells that create a similar effect to those earrings?
Not that I know of. A spell like that would probably fall under the school of necromancy.
She doesn't even need it. She's a time witch. She can literally just turn back her own age.
Turn back time. Yes. Honestly, I don't even know how old I am anymore. Time magic is weird and... I traveled in the forward, in the backward. I don't know. I just kind of...
She travels in the forward to go see David Bowie. She travels back in time to steal your wife. There you go.
I mean, I'm not from this time. I'm just here presently because I traveled forward in time to go hang out with everyone here because I just find it cool. I like to be a streamer.
You do it because half the women here are hot.
Also true.
And I'm sure you know how much the kingdom scrutinizes that type of magic.
It's Crimson Red short sword.
This is a sword of spell eating. Legend says that it has the power to protect its wielder from any kind of magic.
So it's like an anti-magic field.
In a way, yes. But it's less than heroic origins, I'm afraid. It's said that this sword was created through the blood pact between a mage and a demon.
A demon?
Legend says that some demons have the power to absorb and nullify magic. A demon must have imbued some of its power into the sword. Or at least that's what the legend says.
Yeah, that PNG is just awful.
It goes back and forth from back shots too. I mean, you know.
Is it safe to put something like that out on display? What if the legends are true?
Don't worry, these displays are fortified with several absorbent spells.
You want the golf Pokemon?
Yes. I do want the goth Pokemon.
Yeah, why not? I'll catch it.
Why wouldn't I want the goth Pokemon?
I bet even Lord Saint Steelwind would have trouble getting into this.
So what is the historian doing at the Lord's ball, Mr. Haroldson?
Harold.
Right, Harold.
Anyways, Lord Frigga invites my museum to set up some display.
He must think it adds a semblance of culture, that dumbass. You want a museum?
Yes, it's the Haraldson Hall of History, located on the city of Homelif.
That's a mouthful.
Unfortunately, I don't think his guests appreciate the historical significance of these items. Honestly, I think you're the only person in years who's taken a meaningful interest in them.
Okay, we gotta ask, what the hell's with the monkey? Sorry, but I really have to ask. Is that a monkey riding on your back?
Yes, this is my familiar, Eugene.
You're familiar?
A familiar is a creature that a mage has formed a magical bond with. With that bond, our souls are forever connected. I can communicate with him telepathically. I can even cast my spells through him if I wanted.
Hey, can't you do that with JMS?
He is my familiar.
Can you cast spells through him?
Yes.
Huh.
If I wanted to.
Really? I never knew a spell like that existed.
It's quite rare. Very few mages take the time to learn how to cast it. Eugene, help me with the day-to-day. These old bones aren't as spry as they used to be.
Mr. Harold.
Harold!
As a historian, do you have a lot of knowledge about the ancient dragons?
The answer to the question is somewhat complicated.
What do you mean?
Unfortunately, a lot of historical texts in my collection have been altered or downright destroyed by the Church of Bahamut. Because of that, it's quite difficult to separate myths from actual historical accounts.
Yeah, I remember encountering a similar problem at the Imperial Academy.
Ah, you must be quite dedicated to your study.
They let the simpleton into the Imperial Academy? Fuck you, too! Worst part is, that's not the first time someone said some shit like that. It wasn't the Imperial Academy, it was the Great Magic Academy back in my time. To be fair, Rena, though, back then, literally that academy was full of nothing but women, so...
Yes, you've told me about that.
Yeah. So imagine them listening to hear the fact I was in there. Look, like I said, back then we thought magic was extremely rare for guys to have, so... Now I know that's a load and that guys can use it all the time. Rude, but you suppose that can't be helped.
I had to fight the church for a long time before I could even display dragon bones in my museum.
In the history of the ancient dragons, was there any instance of them granting powers to humans?
Well, of course! That's the entire premise behind the 7 heroes of Weatherguard.
Does this idiot not even know about that? Right. But was there anything before that? Did they ever grant supernatural abilities that didn't follow the rules of arcane magic?
Granting supernatural abilities, you say? That sounds more like something demonic in nature, rather than draconic.
Demonic?
Much like the ancient dragons, demons are the stuff of myths. There are many stories of people selling their souls for them for untold power.
Selling their souls? You recall the note that your mother left you before she was executed. Use my eyes, peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. She once told you to use her eyes. Did your mother make a deal with a demon to give you the Eye of Horus?
Is something wrong?
This guy's a jackass. No, nothing wrong. It's a bit too much to take in, but you might be overthinking this. There hasn't been any recordings, sightings of demons in recent history. There are only secondhand stories and superstitions. The Eye of Horus can't possibly be draconic, can it? You hope Celeste's investigation is going better than yours. Rena?
Yes, indeed.
How dare you insinuate that I engaged in an audacious relationship? That's not what I
fucking Scott throw you out? Ugh, this isn't working. I don't think asking like them like that will be very effective. What? Fuck.
I really hope the prince is here. I just want to see his reaction.
Why is she so cute like this?
Because she's not in prosecutor mode, so she can let her hair down in a way.
I hate. She's actually really pretty. Like, she seems so fucking serious, but this is like. Her design is super cute.
Huh.
You expect anyone to be truthful with you? You're essentially asking them if they cheated on their spouses. Have you been spying on me? Not intentionally. I was just surprised that you were here of all places. Right, I guess that makes sense. You're not party crashing, are you?
Yes, she is. Her name is now McCoy Steelwind.
I want both. Of course I came. Of course, son. I came here with Ruby and Tara. Seltzer, control yourself.
She's right, actually. Someone control the dog. Someone get the leash for the dog.
Red and blue, it's me and Rena. That honestly raises more questions than answers, but I'll take your word for it. Anyway, I know you'd be looking for your birth parents, aren't you? It's being that obvious. It's the only reason I could think of. Why else would you be trying to speak with members of the nobility?
Money.
Marriage?
To fuck with them?
To fuck them?
They're not you. They got more standards.
Mm. People can be hot and rich. I don't know if any of it's my business. But think hard about this, whether you... that is what you truly want. Getting tangled with the air succubus will only bring you misery. I read your file. You've everything you could have ever want. You have your mother and your friends. You even have a lover. What? You're in a relationship with Mr. Cuthbert, are you not? No, Terrence's not my, Really? From the way you two behave around each other, I just assumed. I mean, that's pretty much what people think about me and Soldier. They're like, you must be in a relationship with him.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I saw you two together, I'm like, yeah, these two were dating.
I mean, we're really close, so...
Yeah, you just got that chemistry that just comes off as you two were dating.
That comes with, like, years of knowing each other.
Mm.
What? How obvious? Did he seriously not notice? I think someone with his deductive reasoning skills would easily see through you. Oh yeah, what about you and Aster?
To be fair, even the smartest person, especially a guy, is a dumbass when a girl likes him.
Yeah. Although apparently Seltro was smart enough to know that I liked him at one point. When we first met. See, Rena and Owen. What? What? He doesn't like me like that.
Yeah, I'm right. Even the smartest people could be the biggest dumbasses with that.
He doesn't like me like that. He wouldn't think of me like that. Why are you lying to me, Seltro? I have no idea what you're talking about. I read it. I read it. I read it.
Oh, you read it?
Yeah. Oh, that's new.
What?
In chat at the top now, it literally has a button that says create a clip.
Ah.
That's new. They're making it super easy for people to do it now.
Nice.
Come on, I was there at Lombard Sanctus's manor. So obvious you like him.
Please, you're grossly exaggerating things. He may be my fiance, but I have the utmost respect for him.
And what if I told you he was standing right behind you?
Do you honestly think I'd fall for something like that?
Ah, he was. Honestly, that one's funnier than her just reacting. What are you falling for? Ah, there she goes.
Your Highness.
Oh, hello, Steelwind.
Oh, he's kind of adorable.
Your Highness, please don't run ahead like that.
Probably his little brother.
Probably. Your conversation with Hero was definitely interesting, but you find yourself with very few leads. Be it dragons or demons, the origin of the Eye of Horus still remains a mystery. You find yourself returning to the ballroom, and you spot Celeste in a corner with some other people. Is she with Aster and Steelwind?
Yeah, sir. What do you think of Steelwind's dress?
It suits you very well, Miss Steelwind. You look lovely. Gross. I like this kid.
He's kind of adorable.
As you approach, you're stopped by the Knight of the Kingsguard. He stares you down. What? Repario Arcanum. That was an incantation for detect magic. The Knight stares you up and down. Celeste hasn't cast any spells on you lately, so he shouldn't be able to see any traces of magic. Oh, Mr. Cuthbert. What was that all about? My apologies. They were making sure you weren't disguising yourself with an illusion.
Oh, Bonnieri.
I want to catch one, but I also don't want to deal with the repercussions of its, other form.
I mean, it takes a lot to evolve the Pokemon in here.
Yeah, but it is also a cute bunny. Oh. I think I'm out of Ultra Ball, so let me just go with the classic Poke.
You tried Great Ball and it failed.
Apparently I tried a Poke Catch Ball.
Poke Catch Ball.
Yeah.
Bonnieri!
The Kingsguard are charged with keeping us safe. They must take every precaution to protect us. Oh, and who might you be? Don't speak so familiar with me, peasant. Alric, don't speak to him like that. Why shouldn't I speak to him as I please? I am Prince Alec the Rivengard V. I will not demote myself by showing courtesy to a commoner.
That's the 6th.
Doesn't he mean demean?
He's kind of adorable. I would pat him on the head.
Yeah, but apparently she doesn't like commoners, so there you go. I'm terribly sorry about it, Mr. Cuthbert. It's fine. Anyway, weren't you supposed to be investigating your birth parents? Leave the poor woman alone.
She started it.
Right. I'm actually quite surprised to see you both here. What brings you to the Lord's Ball, Mr. Cuthbert? We were just accompanying Miss Tamura. Her client has business with Lord Frege. Her client?
Uh-oh.
Damn, she... Oh, that's right.
She's pissed.
Beatrice? Beatrice suddenly storms through the ballroom. She almost walks right past you before she hears Aster's voice. She looks furious. Did her discussion with Lord Frege go badly? Oh, that voice. Is that you, Aster? It's really you! She called him Aster instead of your highness. Do they personally know each other? I'm glad to see you again. It's been quite some time.
You can't see anything! Oh,
Is that-
something about it.
Is that...
He's both sad and happy?
Yeah, is that really all you have to say?
Oh. Maybe they were dating at one point. It appears you two have much to talk about. I'll just be taking my leave. She's jealous. Everybody's uncomfortable now.
There's a bit of tension in the air. So we should probably get going too. Yeah.
You don't say. Wow, that was awkward.
Yeah, I wonder how those two know each other. She's working with Miss Tamura, but she somehow knows Lord Frege and the Crown Prince. Just who is she? Well, you suppose it's none of your business. Anyways, how did your investigation go?
I got nothing. I think all I did was make a bunch of nobles mad.
And the bad news? Sorry, I know you really wanted answers, but I'm sure something will come up.
You think so?
It might be irresponsible
Maybe.
to give her hope like this. A noble abandoned her at a tavern in a rundown village. You doubt someone like that would want to make themselves easy to find.
Anyways, I don't want this night to be a total loss. Come on, dance with me.
What?
Oh, nervous.
What? That's not really something I...
Don't be like that. How often do we get to go to a party like this?
Before you have a chance to object, she grabs your hand and starts dragging you to the middle of the room. You receive a few dirty looks from the aristocrats nearby. Celeste, people are staring at us.
Who cares what they think? They're nobles.
I mean, she's got a point. Noble's opinion matters way less than anybody else's.
It's chocolate day. I want chocolate.
They're gonna hate us no matter what we do.
She takes hold of your other hand and begins to pull you to a waltz. I don't even know how to dance. I've never done this before.
It's easy, just stop being so awkward about it.
That's easy for her to say. Alright, just tell me what I need to do.
Well, first, you need to be closer to me.
With one swift motion, she pulls your body closer to hers.
I could see more side boob in the prior shot. Now it's all covered up.
Watch my movements and try to follow my lead.
You seem to know a lot about these things.
I had a lot of networking when I was a mercenary. Do you know how many times I had to charm a merchant into hiring me?
I see. You really don't know much about her, do you? You carefully watch the position of your feet to try and match her movements. After a while, you find yourself able to match her rhythm. But you still accidentally step on her foot for every few beats. She doesn't seem fazed by it. Either she's being polite or she genuinely doesn't feel anything.
Probably the polite part. You're getting it. But don't focus so much on where your feet are. Just look at me.
What?
Come on, do it.
You try to break eye contact with her, but every time you do, you slowly find yourself being drawn back into her eyes. You feel so embarrassed that you become lightheaded, and you find yourself perspiring more than usual. But at the same
Sweaty
time,
boy.
you don't have the urge to break away from her. There's a comforting warmth behind all the anxiety you're feeling.
Sweaty boy. Ah, there he is, the infamous Tyrion Cuthbert. Never turns away from challenging and noble, but can't dance to take a step to save his life.
Her expression doesn't betray a hint of it, but you still detect feeling of nervousness from her. Is she just as flustered as you are? You find yourself relaxing a bit more, and you somehow are able to continue matching her movements.
See, there you go. Although,
What is it?
you know the man's supposed to lead, right?
Maybe I don't subscribe to gender stereotypes.
Or maybe you just suck at this.
It's been a while since you felt this calm. There's always been something that you need to prepare for. A client that needs saving, a culprit that needs catching. But you're quite content with this one brief moment you're able to spend with her. You almost find yourself getting lost in the mood. Until you spot a familiar face accompanied by a legion of knights. No, don't tell me. The knights stormed their way toward where Beatrice and Esther are. Several of the attendees take notice. They all stop what they're doing to see what's going on. Beatrice Frigga, by the authority of the Wyvern Crown, you are under arrest. Didn't he just say Beatrice Frigga?
It was just getting good. We should go see what's happening, shouldn't we?
Yeah, let's get going. You are completely out of line, Commander. I thought I told you to stand down. Do you not recognize who you're speaking to? Let go of Lady Frigga. I can't really do that, Your Highness. Aster, what's going on? It's Lord Frigga. He was found murdered in his study. And these cretins think that Beatrice is behind it somehow. Sorry, Your Highness, but my orders came straight from Steelwind. Lady Steelwind sent you? Beatrice takes a deep breath and clasps her hands together. I should go with them. What? No! My brother is right. They have no right to... I don't want to cause friction between you and Arya. She's always been meticulous. I'm sure she's just being careful. I'm sure I'll be exonerated once they thoroughly investigated what happened. Okay. Only if that's what you truly want. What? You can't just let them...
I think they dated at one point.
Yeah. You can't just let them take her away. Brother, she's correct. It's not our place to interfere with the laws of our kingdom. But, however... yes, Your Highness. Miss Beatrice is blind. One of your knights will need to escort her. She's what? Did he just say that she's blind? Anyways, we're going to need to take you to a holding cell, lady. One of you should stay with her and guide her through. Please, I may be disabled, but I'm not a child. Beatrice walked past the knights and head towards the foyer. It appears that she already knows the way out. Shouldn't you all be following her? Right. Inquisition, move out.
What is he, a fucking soldier? Inquisition, move out.
You definitely didn't expect the night to go like this. Just what is going on here?
Let's move out. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Alright. Alright, chat. Rena's gonna be right B. I'm just going to do a little few things while she is kind of be right B right now. There we go. What do you think, chat? Maybe add some more things to it? What else can I add?
What now?
You kind of messed up what I was working on. Yeah, you kind of messed up what I was working on.
Why?
Look at your model right now.
Oh. I mean, you're the one who made me this small.
No, it's like your body was moving around. Let me get rid of these stuff. I was trying to give you a pirate hat. What? Here we go.
That's your choice.
What, giving you a pirate hat? Yeah. I can't believe they kept us here till noon. Wars ball was already running well into the night, even before the murder occurred. You'd like nothing more than to catch up on your lost sleep, but you made a promise to Aster. That doesn't make any sense. Beatrice was with me and my brother the entire night. Right, you were there when she met with him and Steelwind. She could have stolen the sword of spell eating and have murdered her father. I don't understand. Of all the people that could have done this, why would Steelwind suspect a blind woman? Mr. Cuff,
Good question.
could you defend Beatrice against those awful charges? I don't think I even need to. What?
Beatrice is Ruby's clan. I'm sure that she'll be the one defending her.
Well, that certainly puts my mind at ease. What's wrong? I don't know if I'm asking too much, but could you still investigate the crime scene for me, Mr. Cuthbert? What? But we just said that Mr. Mora will. I know, and I don't doubt her abilities. But Beatrice is a dear friend of mine. I'd like every chance for her to be found innocent. You said that she was a dear friend. They must know each other since she was with Frega. But why would Mr. Mora of all people represent a member of the noble house? There's a lot of things you don't know about her. Of course, I'll also compensate you for your service. Ooh, rich people money. Look, just because I don't like the noble doesn't mean that the money's not good. Plus, it's royal money. That's probably worth extra.
Standards.
Consider yourself blessed. A commoner like you can only dream of a job like this. Alec. Double standards much? No, it's called I like having money to be paid for. So I can pay for things.
Double standards.
How is...
Double standards.
It's not a double standard. It's a work contract.
But you work first, Noble. For money.
He's paying me. It's not like he's making me kiss his ass or anything.
Would you work for Von Sanctus?
No.
If he paid you?
No.
Okay. Double standards.
I was at a double standard when we know this is Aster, and this guy's basically the biggest fanboy.
Double standards.
So it's a double standard for me to turn down one noble, because I know they're a jackass, but the other one I know is good. No. No amount of money would make me kiss ass.
Oh, you're not into ass eating then.
Obviously. Why the hell do you think I would?
That's some people's fetishes. Not mine.
Me either. I like smacking it, I like fucking it, but I ain't eating it. Alric. The tiny prince has a point, though. A payment from the crown prince does sound tempting.
I can't believe this.
So let's return to the ballroom. She changed back to her normal clothes. What's wrong?
People in the courtroom said that they couldn't find my sword. He told me someone must have stolen it.
What?
Well, that's weird.
Yeah. Why would somebody want to steal Celeste's sword? Aside from your group, everybody else in the ballroom was an aristocrat. You do recall her saying that it was forged in the Eastern Kingdom. Someone might have stolen it because it's a rarity? We could probably keep an eye out for it while we investigate the manor. This might all just be some kind of mistake.
I hope so. But anyways, where should we start first?
We should head to the crime scene.
I remember hearing that they found Lord Frigga's body in his study. Let's go over there.
You're at the crime scene and you see the usual swarm of Inquisition knights. However, you also spot some knights of the Kingsguard. They must be working together since the victim is from the noble Pillar family.
I wasn't expecting to see you here, Mr. Cuthbert. I thought Ruby Tamura was defending this case.
Prosecutor Steelwind approaches you as you enter the study, and she's followed by an unexpected yet familiar face.
Oh, Alice, what are you doing here?
Here's the investigation.
You don't doubt Wallace's ability, but you can't think of any reason why Steelwind would need help. But you suppose it's none of your business. Anyways, we're here on behalf of the Crown Prince Aster. You hired us to investigate this case independently.
I see.
I'm sure he just wants to make sure the investigation goes smoothly. Well, if you're here on behalf of His Highness, I'll do whatever I can to help you.
The whole situation is quite unorthodox, but your goal remains the same. Perhaps Steelwind can tell you more about what happened. What can you tell me about the murder?
William Frege was found dead in this room after the lockdown was lifted.
Wait, lockdown? What lockdown?
From what we can tell, his throat had been slashed open with a letter opener.
The cause of death was blood loss. Both of his carotid arteries were severed.
Carotid, yes. Here's the autopsy report if you want a detailed description.
Were you able to find a murder weapon?
Yes, the murderer left at the crime scene. It was the letter opener owned by the victim.
The murderer must have found it in the room and used it.
There was one strange detail about the weapon. The handle was completely shattered. We're not sure what to make of that detail, but it's something crushed the handle with tremendous force. Well, there's no way that she could have done that.
Yeah. What could have caused the handle to shatter like that? You mentioned that there was a lockdown. When did this happen?
You didn't notice? The Inquisition did try to be discreet. Never noticed the commotion Beatrice and the two princes made over it. I suppose you two must have been lost in your own little world, weren't you?
What's she mad at us about that for? Oh. Anyways, you said that Lord Frigga's body was found after the lockdown? That means that something else must have happened prior.
Supposedly someone had broken into one of the Haraldson exhibits. One of the magical artifacts was stolen.
So there was a theft last night? Does the manor lockdown system behave like the one in the Imperial Academy?
The systems are somewhat different. Unlike the Imperial Academy, the lockdown only prevents people from leaving or entering the manor.
So not all the rooms
So
were...
not-
Oh. So not all the rooms were locked, but what about the specific room?
The room does have abjuration wards that lock the door and prevent teleportation in and out. In addition to that, a system was placed in the anti-magic field over the manor. An anti-magic field?
What is that?
Anti-magic field is a spell that nullifies all magic within it.
And the system somehow covered the entire manor in this effect?
If you notice, there are several purple crystals embedded in the walls of the manor. Each of those crystals produced an anti-magic field during the lockdown.
Huh. So no one can cast magic during the entirety of the lockdown.
Not exactly. Someone could have used and stolen an artifact to circumvent it.
You mentioned that someone could have used the stolen artifact to get past the anti-magic fields? Which artifact was that?
It was a source of spell eating.
That was the Demon Forge item that you nullify weapons. I mean, nullify magic. This is true. Someone could have used to counteract the lockdown system.
After Lord Harrison reported this act, the Inquisition discreetly placed the manor on lockdown. They searched every room in the manor to try to find it. It was eventually found in Beatrice's bedroom.
And that led them to believe that she had stolen it?
That is correct. The King's Guard moved to arrest her. Prince Order asked them to step down.
Huh.
It didn't look like she was planning on fleeing, so they planned to wait until after the party had ended.
But then they found Lord Frega's body.
Correct. We believe that she used the stolen sword to nullify the magic locks and break into Lord Frega's study. My question exactly. But if she had a sword, why wouldn't she just use that to commit the murder? We're not entirely sure. We've been working on a few theories. She might have wanted to prevent the theft from being tied to the murder. Or perhaps she had more confidence in wielding a knife over a sword. Regardless of her reasons, it's clear the sword wasn't the murder weapon.
So she's not just implicated in Warfrigger's murder, she's also being charged with stealing the sword of spell eating. But what possible reason would she have to do either of those crimes? Hey Rena,
Yeah.
you tired?
A little bit.
Same. You want to finish the stealing stuff and then just call it?
Sure.
Alright. Since the body was here, was Lord Frege locked in a room during the lockdown?
Yes, William Frege knew that the room should have been secured. It was supposedly in a bad mood, and he locked himself in a room for most of the night. He'd refused to let anyone in the room. The only person in there after that was his daughter.
Alright, see ya, gentleman Yeti. Again, like Rena said, if you like visual novels, follow her. But if you like seeing my stuff, follow me, and follow me on my Discord, too. Because I gotta make my server more active, to be honest.
Nice stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's platformers and hell diving for me, and RPGs and visual novels for her.
Yeah, sometimes I sneak in a couple other things, too.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. Depends. You know. If I feel like being spicy.
Hey, his daughter? Are you talking about Miriam?
No, Lord Frege had another daughter. I'm referring to Lafayette Frege, Lord Frege's middle child. She tried to tell her father about the theft, but she was apparently preoccupied with something else. He said he wanted to stay in his study for the rest of the night.
When did this happen?
Shortly before the lockdown was activated, a little after 1 a.m.
I see. Lafayette must be the last person to see Lord Frege alive then. You should speak with her and get more details about Lord Frege's actions that night. By the way, Steelwind, do you have a map of the manor?
I do. Would you like a copy?
Please, and thank you.
Indeed.
Yes, indubitably.
Yes.
Yes, I am so fancy because I work in a manor. Were there any other witnesses aside from Lafay who saw Lord Frege that night? Perhaps someone heard what happened from the nearby room.
There was someone that heard the altercation, but it was quite obscured. The servant was trapped in a storage room nearby. There's an air vent that connects the room to the storage room. Supposedly heard sounds of a struggle through the vent.
What did this witness hear?
Heard sounds of a struggle before he heard Lord Frege choking on his own blood. When the lockdown was lifted, he informed the King's Guard of what he heard. That's when they discovered the body.
I see. Who was the servant?
I believe you actually know him. His name is Sean Hughes.
Wait, Mr. Hughes is here? I don't expect to see him again, much less here of all places. But if he had a altercation, you definitely want to speak to him. All you gotta do is this last person. I think I'm lacking a lot of information about the defendant. From what the way you both are acting, you and Asta seem to know her.
Your mentor didn't tell you about her.
No, I try not to pry into her business.
I see. I honestly don't much about what happened either. But Beatrice was Lord Freya's oldest daughter and former heir to the House Freyga.
Former heir?
About 5 years ago, she fled Freyga Manor and went into hiding. None of us knew where she'd gone. She ignored attempts to make contact with her. She even used her magic to prevent us from scrying her. Last Nightfall was the first time in years that Aster and I had seen her.
But if that's true, how did Mr. Moore meet her? What would happen? Would you happen to know why Beatrice was meeting with her father after all these years?
I have some ideas, but nothing concrete. I was hoping you could tell me. Tamara and Beatrice have both refused to disclose anything about their meeting.
Damn it, what could this meeting have been about?
Speaking of which, I haven't seen Tamara anywhere in the manor. As a defendant's attorney, I would have thought she'd be here to investigate the murder alongside you.
This is strange, but Mr. Morrow has always been her own way of doing things. Perhaps she's using a different strategy.
Anyway, I imagine that she met with her father to request financial aid.
Why do you say that?
Why indeed? I have it on good authority that she was deeply in debt. That's not the only reason she would speak with her father after all these years. Also, I believe she murdered her father.
You think she murdered him for his inheritance?
The only motive that makes sense.
Alright, there's a lot to work through here. The prosecution will try to assert that Beatrice committed the murder. But what would she have needed to carry out all the actions described? So the first thing we need to do is narrow down the time in which the murder occurred. It's discovered after the lockdown was lifted, and Lefora was still saw her father alive before it was activated. So more than likely it was during the lockdown. Right, the murder must have occurred during the lockdown.
That just means the murder somehow got past the abjuration wards that protected this room.
These wards block teleportation and they magically lock the only door leading into this room. Still, when the Inquisition believed that Beatrice used a sort of spell eating to get past them. Regardless of what they think, we need to assume that the murderer had used some magic nullification to get into William's study.
That's not necessarily true, is it? What if the murderer entered the room before William locked it?
If they were in the room when William locked in, they would have been trapped here until he decided to leave. Not only that, they would have been discovered the moment the guards entered his study.
Maybe they used some kind of invisibility.
Oh, they could have...
Or they could have teleported away the moment the King's Guard unlocked the door.
Teleportation didn't occur. We didn't find any traces of conjuration magic.
What about Celeste's theories of an invisible assailant?
I'll admit that we did find traces of illusion magic. But the movement the guards saw the body, one of them cast detect magic. With that spell, they would have seen invisible people hiding in this room. Wait, you can use detect magic like that? Of course, it's a standard procedure. Like all spells, invisibility leaves traces of magic on the person it's cast on. So mages can use detect magic in a way to see through invisibility.
So we know for sure they weren't here before or after the lockdown. That means that whoever committed the murder used some way to bypass the giant wards to protect this protective room. The next thing to consider is the murder weapon. It was a letter opener that presumably owned by William Frege.
Already existed in the room.
The murderer probably used it to avoid leaving evidence to incriminate them. No.
It'd have to be it's about the fucking murder weapon, so it's gotta be from the study, though. It probably is from the study itself.
Yeah. Right. The letter opener came from this room. The murderer probably wanted to avoid using a weapon that would have implicated them. So they decided to use it and leave it here after the deed was done. But at least a glaring hole in the prosecution's case.
And what would that be, Mr. Cuthbert? Well, no, because she is blind.
Yeah.
Because that's the flaw in the case, is that Beatrice is blind.
Yeah. Or completely. Beatrice Frege is completely blind. Even if she were somehow to break into the highly guarded exhibit, how did she slip past the guard and into Lord Frege's study? Furthermore, how did she locate the letter opener if she couldn't see it in the first place? None of this makes any sense. Committing the murder unseen would have been a tall order for anyone. I can hardly see a blind person who did all this.
You do well not to underestimate her, Mr. Cuthbert.
What?
You don't know her as I do. She's far more capable than you realize.
I suppose I wouldn't know, but the idea that Beatrice did all this is still ludicrous.
Suppose I can't change your mind about that. But I have to ask you a question, Mr. Cuthbert. What would you do if you discovered that one of your clients was guilty?
What? I mean, I tend to have an insight into these sort of things. That would never happen.
I've already seen your uncanny ability to read people, but I'm on hypothetically speaking. So, what would you do if they were guilty?
I suppose I withdraw and tell them to find another lawyer.
And if no one else would represent them?
I don't know. It would definitely be a hard choice for me. But I would never be able to represent them if I knew the truth. I just can't stand by and let the murderer escape justice.
I see.
Why do you ask?
No reason.
Okay. Anyways, she's made her stance clear. You still have a lot of leads to follow up on. You should move somewhere else. And with that, let's save. And we'll call it for today.
Alright.
Who do you think we should rate into, though? I was gonna rate into Honey Goblin, but they ended their stream.
Yeah. Vomit is on.
Who?
Vomit Grub.
Send me the thing.
Pretty sure you rated them before. It's my mom maker's new persona.
All right. Send me the thing anyway.
I did.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like they're live. We're right into them. We're gonna go right into Vomit Grub.
Yeah.
Tell him Rena sent you, everybody, and I will see you all tomorrow with more Hat in Time. Gonna be in the afternoon instead of the morning so I can sleep in and do some stuff. See ya.
Bye bye.
Alright. I know you're tired and I know I'm tired. Alright. Night. No, I never rated this person. Yeah.